Hello everybody, it's Philly Kuts with another comic book haul, the Hump Day haul, number 34. My hump day, my work week is halfway through, and I get through the rest of the week by going on Wednesday night to my local comic book store on release day to pick up the newest comics. And we got a bunch of new ones, but, you know, I'm still recovering from this past weekend. I'm still wearing, like, the Filipino colors. I'm still kind of recovering from that Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather debacle. And I'm a big Pacquiao fan, and I just gotta say, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna do a separate video on that fight, so stay tuned for that. But I'm just, you know, wicked depressed that I'm out $100 for that. I paid $100 to watch that fight. I was up in Massachusetts visiting my girlfriend. We watched the fight together, and goddamn, Manny was off. And I just want to say that Floyd Mayweather dominated him. I probably scored the fight. Jeez, I would say 8 rounds to 4 Mayweather. I mean, he just was superior in that fight. It was like a secret war, people, and the secret was that Manny Pacquiao's shoulder was torn. He had a torn shoulder, I forget which one, and he didn't really notify the boxing authorities in time to get a shot of, like, lidocaine. Now he's being, like, sued by, like, gamblers and stuff for defrauding the public, that he didn't notify people of his torn shoulder, like, a long time ago. Apparently Manny Pacquiao hadn't even sparred for a month. But anyway, that's it. I wanted to talk about that just a little bit because I'm still recovering. I'll probably have a whole nother big video where I talk about all my reactions and stuff, so be on the lookout for that. Manny, what'd you do, man? What did you do? Alright, let's get started. Marvel. I got 3 titles this month from Marvel. First, I got Secret Wars, and I think there's 2 issues of this coming out this month. This is number 1 of 8. Sounds like a number that the DC Convergence event is, too, right? That's the event I'm skipping. But I decided to give this a shot, and I'm kind of having second thoughts, because I didn't realize, like, how much backstory you may need to know in order to understand this fully. This is $5. It's like 30-something pages. I think it's 32 pages. It's got great artwork. It's written by Jonathan Hickman. Assad Ribic is the artist. The art is great in this. It's basically like the Marvel multiverse as we know it is crumbling and falling apart. It's the standard Marvel universe, I guess, of 616, the Alan Moore Marvelverse, against the Earth 1610, or I don't even know how they say. That's how out of touch I am with Marvel. Is it like 1610 Earth or 1610 Earth? I don't even know. The Ultimate Universe. And that explains. That made something register in my head. I was like, oh, so is that why there's like Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Iron Man titles and Ultimate whatever titles? That never really clicked before because I don't really buy too much Marvel stuff. But this is like the whole cast of characters in here on one of the pages. Groups called the Illuminati. I didn't even know that. I thought that's like real life Behold a Pale White Horse stuff. But like the Avengers, I guess it's good to have been reading the Avengers, Hickman's Avengers, like for the last couple years or something. Fantastic Four, the X-Men, so lots of heavy hitters. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Inhumans. And then on the Ultimate Universe side, you got, like, the Cabal, and it looks like there's a bunch of different supervillains, too. Like Thanos and stuff. So, pretty intricate. You know what was really cool? So I got this. This was $5 at my comic book shop. And not only did you get the comic for $5, I don't know if everybody else's shop is doing this, but you also got, I guess, on Free Comic Book Day this past Saturday, there was Secret Wars number 0, and the guy at the shop told me, please, you know, read this before you delve into Secret Wars number 1. I guess, obviously, because it's 0. And this is like a full-fledged issue in here, and it looks great. I mean, look at this awesome panel here. I mean, you got everybody. It looks like I can see the Fantastic Four in there, definitely. I see the Hulk. I see some of the Avengers, some of the X-Men. I mean, they're all lining up, getting ready to fight. Whoever it is they have to fight. It looks great, man. There's some weird character. I don't even know who that is. Maybe someone knows who that is. But they threw in Secret Wars number 0, which is great. Then something called the New York Bulletin, which also gives like a rundown of some of the stuff in Secret Wars, which is pretty cool. And it has like a mock travel section with Planet Hulk and a society section with Inhumans. It kind of gives a reading chronology list. This is where I got really scared about, like, what the hell am I getting myself into? Like, I don't even know if these are, like, titles that have already come out. I guess they have, because it's a chronology list. But look at all these titles they're saying that you should read, I guess. I guess this is all the workup to Secret Wars. It's ridiculous. So, like, there's no way I'm ever going to get into all this unless I fall in love with this shit like the way I have Green Lantern. But I doubt it. I love Green Lantern so much. Then you also got a free previews of Secret Wars. And I guess this has previews of different books. I think maybe of what was just on that chronology list. But there's all kinds of stuff in here. So yeah, Secret Wars 2099. Guess that's coming out. I mean, I guess they're going to be blowing this shit all up. Spider-Verse, Secret Wars. So I thought Spider-Verse was all over with, but I guess they're going to have a Secret Wars section of that. So there's all kinds of stuff with this. It's crazy. I probably should have just sat this out like I did Convergence. Now I've opened up a whole other can of worms, and Jesus Christ. Not only that, but you also got like a placemat, like a Secret Wars placemat, and it has a map of Battleworld. I guess Battleworld is like this fragmented world in the Marvel Universe where they're duking it out, where these two different factions are duking it out. Pretty cool, and it's laminated, and this is like high quality, and I think I'm going to use this as a fucking dinner mat. How about that? Get a load of that. Get a gander of that. So, lots of free stuff. So maybe if you're thinking about getting Secret Wars number 1, this is a compelling reason to get it. You get lots of free stuff. At least at my shop you did. Earthworld in Albany, New York. So big shout out to Earthworld in Albany, New York for including all that stuff. Or a big shout out to Marvel if they're doing that for everybody. That's really cool. We love to get bonuses. That's the little touches and little bits of fan service that makes it all worth it and all special. And now I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Okay, my next issue of Marvel Comics is Amazing Spider-Man number 18. Not 18.1, not 18.75, it's 18. And this continues the story of Peter Parker Industries and the sea-level villain, the Ghost, who it seems like Spider-Man or Spider-Woman titles, they love after the Spider-Verse event, bumping out these C, D, and Z level villains. I don't even know much about the Ghost. I do love the art in this, and this is by Humberto Ramos, and he is just an awesome artist. I'm really enjoying his stuff. Let me give you kind of like weird looking. I don't know, is that a little person? I think that's a little person. She looks so cute. Little person. Pat Roloff. Like Pat Roloff on Little People, Big World, right? I love little people. I mean, I'm a little person. I'm only 5'7", but I don't know. It's like I love little people. You know, you never see them. They say that there's this certain percentage of little people out in the world, and I never see them. Where are they all? Where are all the little people? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have much to talk about these comics, so a lot of filler commentary in this one, but we will find out the fate of Peter Parker Industries in here. There's, Ghost is performing his, brand of terrorism. And there's also the concluding story of the Black Cat Repossession Part 3. So you have that, and that's been the format of the last 3 issues of Spider-Man. It's been 2 different stories going on at once with the Black Cat stuff. Black Cat stories are very, very short. It's usually only about like 6-7 pages an issue. So, Spider-Man number 18. Check it out. I think that the story for that has been so lackluster. Like, you know, I got kind of caught at that point where I bought like 2 issues of it, and then I was probably going to stop, and then I found out I think it's like only a 3-part story. So I'm like, shit, you know how it is. You get sucked in at that point, and you're like, fuck, I'm just going to read it. Which is a good question. At what point for you people is the cutoff point when you're reading a book, right? Say it's a 5-issue series. Do you stop at 1? If 1 sucked, do you give it another chance and then you get to 2 and 2 is kind of all right? Go to 3, you're like, shit, this sucks, but then you're like, fuck, I've already bought 3 out of 5 issues. I mean, is that like, those are like the dilemmas I face when I get this. I don't know. Marvel, Spider-Woman. Actually, I've got 4 Marvel titles this week. I'm all messed up. I'm really enjoying this series. Former Avenger, former Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Spider-Woman becomes a private eye in, like, New York City. This first story arc, if you're not counting all the Spider-Verse tie-in stuff that were comprised in issues 1 through 4, this first story arc, really, is her investigating Z-level villains. I don't even know who these guys are, if they've ever even been in Marvel Comics. Okay, Senor Suerte, Big Wheel, Goldbug, Cyclone. That sounds like someone that might have been in something. Kangaroo and Mauler. I don't even know who these dudes are. They're like Z-listers. Anyway, these Z-listers' family members have been kidnapped, and these Z-lister villains are being like extorted, and Spider-Woman has got to come to the root of the case. Great writing in this. I'm really enjoying it. Spider-Woman is like down to earth. She's somewhat like self-deprecating. She's nice. She's kind. She's witty. She's tough. I really liked her. I fell in love with her when I was reading Spider-Verse, and that's why I decided to keep buying this title. Around issue number 4, issue number 5, they totally revamped the whole thing. She has a new costume, a new look. She's got the shade. She's driving a motorcycle. The artwork of Javier Rodriguez is excellent. It's probably the star of the series here. It just looks great. And they always put in like a sequence of Spider-Woman doing her thing in this 2-page spread. Reminds me back in the day when I used to skateboard in the 90s, and they used to have these advertisements of showing the skateboarder in a sequence like that when they're performing a trick. You know, like when they're doing a backside 180 heel flip or something over a gap. And they always loved to show that. They always loved to show how she did it. How did she get from there to out there and into the trunk so quickly? And they kind of break it down for you in there. So I'm happy to see where this goes. I don't think that this is the final part. No, it isn't. This has a definite cliffhanger ending. And damn, I mean, I don't think this spoils anything. But look at Spider-Woman's abs. She's got abs, man. She's been doing her crunches. It's hot. It's hot. Like it. Punisher. Number 18, Frank Castle. This is the book that I was reading as a kid in the 90s. And I reconnected with Frank Castle. I guess in this one, he's going back to Mexico, to the site of where there was some massacre. I didn't start reading Punisher when that happened. I started reading Punisher again, where he was kind of dealing with the Howling Commandos. And he was dealing with a Secretary of State who's kind of a bad dude and who's been hatching all this, like, smear campaign against him and stuff. So I'm not familiar with the gangster that he goes back to try to do justice with, this Hector del Sol. So this will be my first exposure to Hector del Sol. This looks like a good issue. The artwork is kind of unique. It has the artwork of Mitch Grenades and Brent Schoonover, and those guys have been on the pen and pencil for this series, I guess, for quite some time, at least for 4 issues, because they've been doing it since I've been getting it. There's someone taking a picture of Punisher. I don't know what he's doing, but he's on that South 5 highway to L.A., so I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to see how he dispatches this Del Sol, and to see what goes on. And there's some crazy lady with pink hair in here. There's lots of knife fights, and there's like a killer coyote. Looks like a cracked out Timmy Treadwell from Grizzly Man. And if you want to watch a great documentary on Netflix, check out Grizzly Man, if you haven't already. Holy shit. Timmy Treadwell, the guy that went to live with the grizzly bears for 13 summers. Whew, talk about a piece of work, people. I'll let you know it didn't end very well for Timmy at the end of that movie. Poor Timmy Treadwell. Check it out. Punisher, number 18. All right, now one of my new favorite independent series that I'm really enjoying is Descender, number 3. Artwork by Dustin Nguyen, Jeff Lemire doing the writing. This is a great book. This is the tale of Tim 21. He is a robot. He is a little dude who's being hunted by bounty hunters because in this universe, all robots have become bad. They become something that are to be hunted, to be despised. It kind of deals with questions of like nature versus nurture. It deals with, well, you just form a lot of sympathy for this Tim 21. He woke up on a mining colony on a moon. He was asleep for like 10 years. He woke up. He was the only one on the moon. His adoptive parents are all dead. In the last issue, he actually found the corpse of his mother out in the mine shaft. You see her suit. I forget what her last name is, but he sees her last name, first initial, and she's a skeleton. And you just feel for him, and you know that he's a robot. But it seems like he has a lot of emotions, and that he's, developing emotions. I think of, like, Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, stuff like that, where Data constantly was trying to be human. And it almost seems like this guy is human, this Tim 21. I forget if he's like the only Tim 21 out in the universe. I think he probably isn't. I think he's like a prototype, or not a prototype, but a certain model of robot. There was a great cliffhanger ending at the end of issue 2, which I won't spoil for you. But the bounty hunters were really hot on his tail. And it's just a great book. I mean, even the coloring and the minimalistic color palette that happens, and the reds, the red hues. We keep getting introduced to new and more characters with each book. The universe expands. Different types of robots as well. This is a driller character. He's like a big brute. And he actually plays a big part in the end of issue 2. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But just great artwork, man. And it's very emotional, and I've really formed a connection with Tim 21. It also reminds me of, like, AI. If you ever saw the movie AI, great, great movie. Think along the terms of that. There's also a little bit of Philip K. Dick in here, like, do androids dream of sleep? Do androids dream of sheep when they dream or something? Or I forget. But Philip K. Dick, the great science fiction novelist, always wrote stories about like artificial intelligence and stuff like that, and what they were all about. And sooner or later we're going to enter into an age where this is going to be a reality, and we really are going to have like robots and stuff. And we're going to have to answer these questions. And what rights will robots have, or cyborgs have, Sometimes I wish I could be cryogenically frozen just to see what the world or the Earth is going to be like in 300 years. And that's why I love science fiction so much. But Timmy, 21. He even meets his creator here, Dr. Qwen. Dr. Qwen invented him. And he's even like, he's waking up here. See the emotions? You see the emotions there? Tim, 21, you remember me? So it's just touching, it's compelling, and you really feel for this Tim 21. I highly recommend it, man. I highly recommend this series. It's probably my favorite independent series right now, and it's by Image Comics. Okay, Vertigo, subsidiary of DC. This is the Colin Bunn Werewolf, the take on the Werewolf, issue number 6 of 6. It's been a fun ride. I always feel like these issues have been so short. I can kind of blast through these in under 10 minutes. This is the conclusion. This is the whole kit and caboodle here. I guess we're going to find out, hopefully, who this werewolf is that our protagonist has been hunting all these issues. He's now teamed up with his wife. His wife tracked him down via credit card receipts, or by calling the credit card company and finding out where he made his last charges, because she was worried about him. You know, not that she doesn't trust him, but her husband's out fucking hunting a werewolf. She's afraid. Guy was attacked by the werewolf once already. You know, talk about a kind, caring woman, people. I mean, it's pretty hot. That's someone you want in your corner, right? And there's this killer also who is trying to thwart our protagonist, I don't remember his name, our protagonist's progress in trying to track down the werewolf. This killer is trying to harness the power of the werewolf himself using, you know, spells and all kinds of satanic shit. I don't know. I can't say the words today. But it's really, really interesting. This werewolf is badass. I've shown him to you guys before, so this isn't a spoiler if you've been watching, like, my comic book hauls over the last 6 months. I mean, he is a big dude, and he fucks shit up. I don't know if it was in the last issue or the issue before where they were in a shopping mall, and this werewolf was just going on a rampage. There's always blood and guts and gore, so if you're into that, you're going to love this book. There's always stuff going on in here, and I'm just saying there is an epic battle in here in this final issue between our man, the protagonist, that I can't remember whose name is, and the werewolf. And I'm excited to find out what happens, what's going to happen with the killer, and who the hell this werewolf is or has been. Even though supposedly the werewolf jumps around from souls to souls every month. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Okay, and then finally, my final book of the month, or of the week, rather, is Lord Baltimore, Mignolaverse, right? It seems like I have a Mignolaverse title every week, but I love everything that Mignola creates. Baltimore, The Cult of the Red King. And this is going to be a little bit different than the normal Baltimore books, from what I hear, because it's like he's assembled a team of hunters with him to go on this mission, or a crackpot crew. And usually Baltimore is more of a solo guy. He's like a vampire hunter. I don't know necessarily in this one if he's hunting a vampire. I know in the last series he wasn't hunting vampires, he was hunting a werewolf. So I guess this Cult of the Red King, this Red King character, there's a ship, takes place out on the sea, people. This Red King character is regarded as, I forget what the line was, like the god of all gods. So like before they were even gods, he was the god. That's what it is. He's referred to many, this is an interview that was given by Dark Horse Comics. Christopher Golden is the writer of this series. He says that this is not the first time we've heard of the Red King, but who or what is he? He's referred to many different ways, But one that I quite like is the God before gods. He's the father of all monsters, the thing from which all manner of monstrosities and demons came. Even sleeping, he can dream them into life. He ruled at a time before man, before gods, and worship of him went well into the age of man until it faded enough that he slipped into a kind of parallel world, his own limbo, and rested. But he won't sleep forever, and now he's terrorizing fucking Lord Baltimore, and we gotta find out what's going on. Classic Mignolaverse look. I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's a 5-part series. It's out on the high C, people. I'm trying to find a good page to show you guys, but looks like that this is definitely heavy exposition here. Some creepy crawlies there. Creepy looking dude. How would you like that guy waking you up? Some carnage on the battlefield. Good stuff. Killer bat. You know, all the classic stuff that you'd find in like a Mignolaverse title, right? I'm happy with it. And guess what, folks? That's all the issues. Do you hear how stuffed up I am? I got massive allergies. I almost didn't want to do the haul because I've just been feeling like crap with my allergies. That's why I'm wearing my glasses. The month of May and into early June is just terrible for me this time of year with the allergies. So if anybody has that problem, I empathize. So thanks, guys. Another comic book haul down the drain. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Let me know what issues you've got. And, oh, yeah, I don't think I've done this for, like, the last couple weeks because I keep forgetting. The cover of the week. Can you believe it? I remembered it this time. Ooh, I don't know. This is tough. One would think it might be going with Secret Wars, but I don't know. I think that the characters... This is an Alex Ross cover, too. But everything is so small. Everything is so small. I like how the cover is nice and diesel. It actually has like a nice soft matte finish. Hear that? That's my ASMR, attempted ASMR video. Hear that? Anyway, that's not getting a cover of the week. Wolf Moon is. You see the woman or the person inside the wolf? Do you see that? You might not have noticed it until I pointed it out. It looks like his wife. I don't know what's going on there. That could be a big clue. But Wolf Moon, Colin Bunn. Hopefully it continues on into a series again. We'll have to see. I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to the conclusion of that book. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. If you ever wanted to follow me on Twitter, it's at PhillyKuts on Twitter. Alright. Peace. And have a nice week.